Dread Zeppelin, and you're listening to Triple J, and there's something wrong with my lip.
Oh, well, the purple overall. What does that have? Tonight, I'm pleased to say the guest DJ in the room to move is the one and only Tortelvis from Dread Zeppelin. Tortelvis, thanks for coming into the Jays.
Thank you very much, man. It's a privilege to be here.
Well, it's a privilege to have Dread Zeppelin in Australia. We've been feasting our ears on the couple of albums you've released, and we've read all sorts of things about the stage show, so it's great that you've made your way out to Australia.
Well, it's something that we've been working on for the last year, coming down here and playing. We've been all the way around the world, and finally we're ending our 2-year tour here, so it's just an incredible thing for us.
You've been on the road for 2 years.
Believe it or not, we were home for a few weeks to record the second record, 5 Million. We were home for 3 weeks, record, mix, and do all that stuff to it. And now we're back on the road.
You must be pretty tired.
Well, I personally I could be on the road forever. The boys are a little tired. They want to go home to their families and friends and everything, and take a little break. And we took a little break at Christmas time. But we need an extended thing here. And then we're going to record a third record coming up maybe March or April.
Okay. So what's the reaction been like so far to the Australian shows you've done? You've done mainly around Sydney so far. What's your reaction been like?
Well, they tell me we're setting records. A lot of people are showing up to the shows. There was a lot of interest when we were setting this thing up. I was doing telephone interviews and things like that. And people were really into it. And it looks like the show's been going great. So if they continue this way, I think we're pretty much doing our job.
Do you find when you tour, given that you've been on the road for 2 years, do you find that the reactions vary enormously with each city and each country that you play in?
They're actually very, very similar. The only place that's different was Japan, and we went there twice, and they really believe that I am Elvis Presley there. They're screaming, they're giving me gifts, kissing me, trying to tear my clothes off and everything, and it makes me feel like the king, but you got to put a stop to it sometime.
So
that's why you see me right now. I don't normally look like this, but I'm in my disguise. I'm wearing, a pair of Levi's, a surfing T-shirt, and a brown curly wig, and I need to do that once in a while because I need some privacy, something that Elvis really never had a chance to do.
Well, I walked straight past you out at reception when you were waiting for me. Yeah, right. You fooled me. So you don't get hordes of angry Led Zeppelin fans or angry Elvis Presley fans sort of throwing things at you on stage anywhere?
Not at all. We're very worried in the beginning, especially with the Elvis fans, because there's a lot of weird ones out there. But there's really been no problem. We went to Memphis. I hired extra security. We did a show there, and we ended up not even needing them. They really appreciated the show there more than any place. I guess the younger group is a little tired of what's happening with this ridiculous Elvis thing, Elvis sightings, and is he still alive or not? That's why I must tell everybody that I'm not an Elvis impersonator. I'm an Elvis impersonator. There's a big, big difference there.
Where's the difference?
Well, I'm making fun of the impersonators and the whole ridiculous thing going on with Elvis. But I'm a great Elvis fan. I'm a big Elvis fan, and just slightly bigger than the rest of them.
So it's your way. So it's your way of paying reverence to the king by undercutting what they're doing to the king.
Right.
I'm glad you understood that.
Right.
But I believe the Presley estate in Memphis were none too happy when the idea of Dread Zeppelin came along.
Well, they're very concerned. I can understand. They love their man. They love the king. I love the king. And they just don't want anybody messing with his image. But there's so much going on. You really can't mess with it any more than what's already happened. And there was also a financial thing. They thought maybe people were buying our record because they thought I was Elvis Presley. So in the U.S. at least, I'm not sure here, but you'll see my face blacked out on the cover of the record, or some dreadlocks on my head. And the second record, 5 Million, I didn't even appear on the cover. I am on the inside. We snuck that one in, but that was their idea. So
they have control over that sort of thing?
They don't have control. We just decided to go along with a few of the things that they asked. I think you can pretty much tell that I'm not Elvis, because I'm proud to say I'm quite a bit heavier than Elvis was at the end of his career. I'm up to about 365 pounds.
What was he up to?
He was about 250.
Wow.
So I got about over 100 pounds on the king.
You do have it over him.
Right. Unfortunately, I'm not as good as a karate kicker or hitter as he was. I'm a 6th-degree black belt. He was a 7th, and I think it's because of the weight. If I brought it down, maybe I could do a little better.
Should we move that TV out of the studio, do you think? Is that in any danger during this interview?
That's been in the corner of my eye this whole time, and anybody got a gun?
I think we'll play a song and maybe move that TV out before you've got time to reach for your holster. Anyway, Tortelvis, let's get into your first selection tonight. And we've been talking about Elvis Presley, but I believe that Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin is quite a big fan of Dread Zeppelin.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't mind at all.
He doesn't mind. From the very beginning, he really enjoyed what we were doing. It's just pure entertainment, and he realizes that we're not making fun of Led Zeppelin. We're having fun with them. And he knows that. Jimmy Page is on and off with the thing. Sometimes he likes it, sometimes he doesn't. But Robert Plant's always been there pretty much for us.
Okay. Well, why don't we get into the early days of Led Zeppelin? This is a great track from their very first album. Led Zeppelin, taken from their very first album. Very touching Led Zeppelin song.
It inspires me, it really does.
You've not done that one, have you?
We do a little tidbit of it. We do a little tidbit of every Led Zeppelin song. If you really listen closely to the set, you'll hear this or that. But we don't do an actual full arrangement of it.
Why is that?
There's so many to choose from. And plus we got to save some for later records,
Right, so it's your way of getting through their, 10, 11, 12 albums or whatever?
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll have a long career if we do all their records.
Yeah. Well, tonight here at Triple J, in the room to move, the guest DJ is Tortelvis from Dread Zeppelin. Dread Zeppelin are touring Australia, presented by Triple J at the moment. Well, why don't we move to a relatively contemporary band, and a band, I guess, that has been influenced by Led Zeppelin, and that's 4 black guys called Living Colour.
That's right, and I just found out today that they've kicked out their bass player, and they're taking auditions right now. It's a true story.
Is that right?
Butt Boy, our bass player, told me that, and maybe he's hinting at something, but it's true. It's true.
Ah.
Right.
So do you think you're in danger of losing a bass player shortly?
I don't think so, and the reason is he's not a very good bass player. In fact, all of his parts are pre-recorded. That way it gives him a chance to dance on stage. It's really tough to dance and play bass at the same time. As you've seen from some of the shows we've done, he's an incredible dancer and moves around quite a bit. And I'd like to announce this also because of the fact that if we ever do win a Grammy Award, they're not going to take it away from us because, we were lip-syncing the bass or whatever.
And during the few moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
The thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Triple J 99.3.
Two good ones, Judge. That's it. We have one more song. We're going to take one more look at the body, then we're going to close the lid. Look at it. Here we go.
Well, from Living Colour and Cult of Personality to Sammy Davis Jr. and Mr. Bojangles.
I really appreciate the entertainers, the true entertainers. Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Shirley Jones, of course, of the Partridge Family. And these are the songs that I really based my whole career on. I'm singing Led Zeppelin and I'm singing Elvis. Elvis, of course, a great entertainer, but these type of people really, really inspire me.
So have you seen, or did you get to see Sammy Davis Jr. perform live?
That's right. In fact, the very beginning of our career, I believe our first show was on January the 2nd, 89, but we did a show on the 9th of January, 1 week later, and Sammy Davis was in town in Pasadena, California, and he came to see our show, and he came up and he just said, "Thank you, Tortelvis, for giving me a night of entertainment and pleasure." And I couldn't believe it. I wish there was cameras there to record this event, but there wasn't, and it was just a great night for me.
No one was there to take a snapshot or anything?
No snapshots, no nothing. It was just me and him in the back room. And
so how did you feel when the news came through that, Sammy Davis had cashed in his cards?
I was devastated.
Or cashed in his chips, I should say.
Right. That big Vegas guy that he was. It was just a sad day for me. In fact, let's have a moment of silence for Sammy Davis Jr. Thank you very much.
Okay. Tonight in the room to move, Tortelvis from Dread Zeppelin is running through some favourite selections. Well, why don't we take a complete left-handed turn at this point? Devo. Now, there's a band that's also dead and gone.
Well, I guess you could say that. I actually saw them about a year ago, and yes,
they're still together.
They are dead and gone, even though they're still playing. But I really love them. Whip It, this song here.
Why'd you pick this one?
Well, I like the song, but I like the video even better. I think it's the best video that's ever been made.
It's a bit sus.
It's incredible. It has a lot of meaning, a lot of deep meaning.
Okay, let's hear it. Whip It, Devo. Well, where should we go after Devo, Tortelvis?
I like that funky stuff, funky rock thing, and there's a group called Primus that I'm very good friends with. We grew up together, me and the boys in Primus, and great music. The musicianship is incredible. The bass playing, the drum playing, and the guitar playing, and you'll be able to hear by listening to this thing.
They're real manic players, aren't they?
They're great. They certainly are.
What are they like live?
It's kind of like, in a way, it's like our show. The music is good on record, but you need to see the live show to really appreciate what they do, and same with Dread Zeppelin, especially.
So when you got Dread Zeppelin, just going back to your own musical outing, when you got Dread Zeppelin together, was the idea always there to record music as well as just playing it?
Well, the whole idea of the group was just to go out one time and have fun and play for our friends and our family. And that was it. We had really no expectations about doing anything else. And it went over so well, we started playing in Los Angeles and played there for about a year, and went ahead and recorded a record. Met a great manager named Colonel Kane, and he took us right to the top, got us a record deal in the States, and we've been touring for 2 years now. So all this was really unexpected.
So where do you think it can go from here? From another 2 albums to how many albums?
Nowhere. I think this is it. this is definitely it.
This is the high point. The room to move at Triple J.
That's right.
And out the door, and that's it. All right. Well, look, Primus are from San Francisco, aren't they?
That's right.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. This is an interesting track, John the Fisherman, from Primus's album Frizzle Fry.
You're listening to The Summer of Safe Love on Triple J.
Chosen tonight in the room to move by Tortelvis from Dread Zeppelin. First of all from San Francisco, Primus, and then Jane's Addiction from Los Angeles.
I've hired one of Jane's Addiction's ex-crew to do our sound. He's a great sound man. Colonel Goat's his name, and he's been doing a great job for Jane's Addiction and for Deborah Harry and groups like this. And I've got him now, and I hope I won't lose him. He's fantastic.
Well, Jane's Addiction are no more as well.
That's right. There's a lot of that happening.
A lot of bands breaking up.
That's right. It's a hot time in the industry right now, man.
Why do you think it is? Like the beginning of a new decade and people are a bit freaked out about everything?
That's right. I think it's the presence of these really strange and stupid groups who come out imitating other people that's kind of ruining the whole thing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I hate it.
It's terrible. Terrible. They should all be shot. Okay, well, rap music is something that I wanted to ask you about. Is rap music something which Tortelvis can relate to?
You know, if Elvis were here, I think that he would just now, of course, getting into things a little late, as he did near the middle and late part of his career, he'd just be now starting to sing rap songs. And I've done a little rap in an original song called Big Old Gold Belt that we do on 5 Million, and I'm just starting to get into it now, and I think it's going to be here for a little while.
So, if you could envisage Elvis in his rap days today, who do you think you could draw a comparison with? Who do you think he'd sound like?
I think you sound a little bit like NWA.
Think so?
I really do. He's got that. Elvis was always on the cutting edge in the very beginning, and man, he could do it like that.
Yeah, he was a military man, really, wasn't he? Well, in a lot of movies.
He certainly was.
A lot of movies he was a military man.
Right. He was in the army or what have you. He pulled KP just like the rest of them, man.
Okay. Well, Young MC, though, is the track that you've chosen, Principal's Office.
Right. It's just a good song. It's actually got some good melodies and harmonies in there, too. Not just rap. It encompasses a lot of different parts of music. Pure entertainment. That's my message. You can't just do one thing. You have to do everything.
Now, normally, if I can help it, I don't spend a lot of time in a principal's office.
What? Gag.
Perth, 99.3.
And that guy was a pretty good singer as well, Marvin Gaye.
He certainly was, and it was just 2 weeks before he died. He was over at the house, and we were talking, and we were ready to record together. And he said, "Give me a call in a couple of weeks," and then I heard the news, and that was it. So we were ready to record.
What were you going to record?
We had some old bad '70s songs that we were going to do together and try to pep them up a little bit. You know, Bay City Rollers, this kind of thing.
And he was gunned down
by his own father. That's right. I don't know what to say.
Well, guns and dead people. These are recurring themes.
Right?
Recurring themes through our conversation tonight.
That TV's still in here, man. Get rid of that thing.
Here. We've got to get this TV out of here. Tortelvis from Dread Zeppelin tonight is the guest DJ in the Room to Move. Well, we're slowly winding down to the end of your selections tonight, but I thought it would be a good opportunity to play a good Australian band before your time was up. Now, there was a lot of Australian bands and a lot of Australian music I'm sure that you could relate to, but AC/DC is what you've gone for.
I like the edge of the music. In fact, before Brian Johnson was hired, they had called me, and I said, no, I'm doing a little lounge thing. I was playing to 20, 25 people in this lounge, and I couldn't give up the income, so I said, I can't do it right now. So they got Brian, but it's a great group. Just very good music.
Yes. Do you think they regret that decision of yours, basically?
Well, take a look at Dread Zeppelin and see the job that I'm doing there, and then you make your own decision on that.
But you don't have as many trucks loading your equipment up and driving around the world, do you?
No, we don't.
They've got the trucks.
That's right. We've got a milk truck that pretty much carries everything that we need. We have about 3 amplifiers that are about a foot by a foot, and that's it. And of course, it gives me the chance to deliver milk like I used to. While I'm playing, I stop at the old ladies' houses in the morning, sing them a song, service them, and take off and do the show later that night. And I was a milkman for a long time, and hopefully one of these days I'll be able to get back to it.
An ultimate selection tonight in the Room to Move by our guest DJ, Tortelvis from Dread Zeppelin, and Back in Black by AC/DC. Have you enjoyed yourself tonight going through these favourite picks of yours?
I certainly have. You've worked me pretty hard here. We've been here for almost an hour now, and I'm going to go back to the hotel room and do a little sleeping.
Yeah?
Right.
Big on sleeping.
Well, I'm going to go get one of those Tortelvis burger Monte Cristos before I go to bed. What it is a double cheeseburger, battered, deep fried, cooled for 1 hour, very important. Then you deep fry it again, you put a little jam or jelly on top of it, and you got that Monte Cristo feel, and it's quite a good thing. I mean, take a look at my physique, and you'll probably run out and get one yourself.
Well, it sounds mouth-watering.
It certainly is.
I'm sort of regretting the fact that I have to stay here for a couple of hours and keep this radio station going. But have you found that the fast food in Australia is as good as it is back home?
It certainly is. We had a big old burger just yesterday. What was the name of that place there, Charlie? Charlie Hodge? Remember that? Howard's or something? Howard's. Henry's. We had a Henry's. It was a triple burger with an egg on it, which you don't see in the States too often, but it had bacon, it had mayonnaise and mustard and ketchup. It was mouth-watering.
And triple burgers are your average?
Well, it was a little small. I could have gone for some more beef, but that was all right. It was great, though.
Well, I'm glad that we've been a hospitable country for you and the rest of the.
It's great.
band.
I mean, there's food every other shop going down the streets here. You see food, so you can't beat that.
We're a big eating nation.
Yes.
And a big drinking nation, but you don't like to drink so much.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that. This is a good time for me to tell everybody out there that we are just family entertainment. There's no drugs, no alcohol, and especially no hanky-panky with the women. In fact, I've hired a special crew to take care of the girls who want to come backstage, and we give them a copy of the Dread Zeppelin home game, a little pat on the butt, and send them on home. And we, of course, go backstage and sing gospel songs till daylight.
Is that right?
That's right, man.
Well, hopefully we can hear some of those gospel songs maybe incorporated in the stage act or on the next album, if there is going to be a next album.
You definitely will. That's right. There'll be several more records.
Okay. Well, I mean, we couldn't really let this occasion pass without at least including one Elvis song within your selections tonight.
There's a lot of Elvis songs that I really appreciate, but this is one of my favorites. It's Are You Lonesome Tonight? And I wonder if you're lonesome tonight.